Whoa, hey, hi, how are you? Welcome to another episode of Monday Evening Quarterback. I'm your host, EJW, Elias J. Williams of SaintsFootballTalk.com. And we're going to keep the momentum going on this series. Having had a chance to look at the all 22, digest the debacle of the game. The biggest thing that you take from it overall is that the same issues that were prevalent during the first 2 weeks got exasperated while they were on the road versus a better team. Not going down the field with the ball, the protection wasn't great, guys running open in coverage, penalties, same issues. Your kicker missing field goals. It just looked worse because it was an away game, and the Seahawks are much better as a team than the 49ers and the Cardinals. So we're going to break it down: offense, defense, special teams, and we'll touch bases on all three. So starting with the offense, I, the discussion about Shuck will start at some point. My personal belief is that Rattler is a quarterback you can win with as long as everything around him is operating well. But he has not proven that he is a quarterback that you can win because of. I felt like his best opportunity to be that guy or showcase that was in last year's game versus the Commanders. And it came down to the 2 point conversion. And that was an opportunity for him to cement himself as a quarterback that if he makes that throw or makes that play, the Saints win that game because of his quarterbacking. Instead, 2 point conversion was missed. They lost that game. And I think to me, that evaluated him as a quarterback you win with. So, being that he's a starter, listen, you got to help him a little bit more. I spoke with Rev on it. He seems to feel more or less that Rattler is missing some plays. He's not seeing receivers run open. He's failing to pull the trigger. I'm not ready to say that it's purely on him. I like to focus on coaching in these situations. To me, if the field is being muddied, if he's not processing post snap as good, then as a play caller, why don't you start calling shot plays that are like max protect, where you only have two routes, they're deep and intermediate, so they're designed to be a chunk play. Therefore, his only option is to throw the ball deep or intermediate versus it being built into the play and he's missing the reads. You can continue to help him by establishing the run game and being consistent to it. For whatever reason, we still want to be a 60-40 team, pass run, and that does not suit Rattler's skill set. Finally, they need to work on the scramble drills more. It's been pointed out a couple of times. The receivers left some yardage on the field. One of Rattler's best traits is his ability to get out of the pocket and make some throws. Now, listen, I understand that he's going to be off target as a quarterback if he starts this entire season. All of the detractors for Rattler, I guarantee you're going to be able to point out his missed throws. That's who he is. He needs to work with bigger receivers with stronger hands and a larger catch radius. That's not really going to change this year. So the best thing to do is the receivers are going to have to step up their game and make plays for their quarterback. On the defensive side of the ball, again, before we start swapping players, Staley did make an adjustment. I saw that there was less of the mugging the A gap or sugaring the A gap with the linebackers. However, I still saw too many examples of linebackers guarding areas of the field that didn't have anything going on. Linebacker drops in coverage, he looks around, he's guarding grass, meaning A, he could have been added to the blitz because he's ineffective in that position because he's not guarding anybody. So you can add him to the blitz, and yet I did see us blitz more this week as well. We still weren't able to generate the pressure we would have liked. And yet, then again, the Seahawks, Kubiak, they're a max protect team a lot of the way. They're a condensed team. So they make it harder to really put pressure on the quarterback. They run a lot of quick game. So I'm not going to fault that the lack of pressure on the defense. I think that that scheme is just well designed to get the ball out quickly. We have experience with it from last year. However, I think at this point you've stopped the sugaring, but the zone coverage still isn't working. So perhaps the next adjustment is on critical downs, you may need to start playing a little bit more man coverage. DeMario, you take the running back. Alante, you take the slot receiver. Cornerbacks, you take the other receivers. Pete, maybe you drop, zone or whatever. You have Pete play man and you have DeMario drop in the middle zone. Whatever. But you're gonna have to start playing mano y mano because right now playing zone, the rush isn't getting there. The holes in the zones are getting bigger, and the quarterback has all the opportunity in the world to make a completion because the receivers, there's 2 to 3 yards of separation between the receiver and the next coverage man. There was a pass play that Donald completed with 3 players in the area, but all of them to a degree like a yard or two away. So the separation is getting there because of the zone coverage. Critical situations, might as well just go man to man and at least make the coverage tighter for the receivers or for the quarterback so he has to fit in and make a better throw. Because right now, the throws for the quarterbacks are very easy. If that is still not changing with the philosophy, then similar to offense, maybe it's time to look at different players. But for now, I still, just like offense, have to put this on the coaching staff. Their philosophies aren't mirroring or aren't matching up properly, and it's not conducive to winning football. Finally, on special teams, bad, terrible showing. But special teams, specifically coverage units and everything that happened, that's the one thing that wasn't a repeat from the first 2 weeks. So for me, I feel that's something that may be a one and done or something that's unique to that situation. And so I'm not ready to come down on the coaching in that area. However, Blake Groupie did miss his third kick or field goal in as many games. Now, statistically, Groupie is fifth or sixth in missed field goals since his rookie year. That's a problem, right? He had a spotless camp, and yet in prime time, he's not succeeding. Small picture, those points don't really change any of the games, maybe the first game. But big picture, your entire problem is not scoring enough points, and your kicker just downed you 9 points. So he is affecting the entire working order, even though in a minor or minute or more zoomed in scale, it probably doesn't make that much of a difference. However, you do have another kicker on the field or on the team, as in Charlie Smith. If this continues through October, you potentially looking at Smith. Overall, as a team, I see the month of September as an opportunity to view all of the things that are not working. You still don't play your first division game until what is it, week 8, week 7, maybe. So, despite whatever the record is that time, you still have a shot at the division because you haven't played a game yet. If you win your division, well, you make the playoffs. So, September, gather the data, make the adjustments, figure out a formula. It's still ongoing. I don't think this is a portion where you're swapping players out. I put the majority of this on the coaching right now. More Staley, they need to do better. As they make adjustments, they'll continue to get data. Then, if those adjustments still are not working, then maybe you start to look at bringing in new players. But for now, you stick with what you have and you try better at putting these guys in better positions, maximizing what they do well, minimizing what they don't do as well. One more hint about offense, Kamara. Wide zone, he's getting a lot of plays. He's getting a lot of yards in those wide zone plays. However, Moore is adding in more gap and duo blocks and man blocking, and it's not working as much. That's another adjustment. Anyway, we out. I skipped the good, bad, and ugly article because it was all bad and ugly. There wasn't even any good to talk about. So we'll get back on that next week. But appreciate you joining me. Y'all take care. And we minimized it to 10 minutes instead of 17. Rah!